Welcome back to Global War 1939. We just finished off round 9, and this was definitely, round 8 was definitely a pivotal round for the Axis. They've got a firm grip on the course of this game. So for the Germans in the Soviet Union, they went ahead and captured these three cities. So Kiev, Smolensk, and Stalingrad have now fallen. The only city remaining would be Leningrad, which is this defense here: a medium tank, two light tanks, three artillery, and about five infantry. So the Germans will be taking care of that next round. They do have to still get their three transports, so they'll take an artillery and handful of men, sail up, land in Leningrad with these four tanks and the three heavy artillery. And then after that, then what the plan is after that. Once Leningrad's fallen, recapture Finland and swing down and take out Norway. This will give them back their bonuses and obviously take away territory from the UK. And for this big stack of armor here, their role is just to continue on moving west and take out the remainder of the Russians. So within 2 turns, Russia will be completely out of the game. For Italy, they did move their fleet finally out of the Mediterranean, so they're on the cusp of moving into the Atlantic to threaten the US-UK transport fleet, which they do have quite a bit. The Americans get about 12, and the British are not too far behind with about 9 transports. All right. And in Africa, for the Italians, they did move down further south. This was quite a costly battle for the Italians. They lost all their infantry and artillery that they had down here, just surviving with one light tank. So their air force was definitely critical in winning this battle. Just one more territory to remove South Africa, which they'll come in with the tank and the 2 infantry via the transport. This tank is zipping across mid-Africa to take these $2 away from the UK, and then it'll head back afterward. This is their main battle group that they have is now in southern Iran. So they'll be slowly moving towards Calcutta, and the Japanese will do the same, but from the other side. So eventually, at some point between this group and all these forces here for Japan, I can't see this holding very much longer. Okay, so and because of the cities that have fallen into German hands, this now makes Spain pro-Axis, so that will be activated, and a few more surface warships will be joining the cruiser and a couple of subs for the Germans, and they, just like the Italians, will make their way out into the Atlantic. For the UK, America on the Atlantic side, the U.S. has moved their fleet back onto the east coast of the United States to pick up another handful of soldiers and tanks and bringing them back into Europe. So in Bordeaux, we got 4 light armor plus this. So the Americans got 3 medium tanks, 2 light tanks, heavy tank, a couple paratroopers, heavy artillery, and 6 Marines. The British got a commando, paratrooper, 2 infantry. The British did make another landing into Normandy with a stack of infantry and a light tank. And they got a few more soldiers ready to embark into France. So the defense of France for the Germans in Paris, we have this group. So we got two Mark 5s, two Mark 4s, 4 light tanks, a couple Pak 40s, artillery, but just under 10 infantry, and 5 SS infantry. And the rest of these forces will slowly make their way towards France to protect that Victory City. All right. So for the Japanese, they're just, at this point, they're just trying to hem down the FEC army, prevent it from going anywhere. They're just going to rebuild their infantry before making the assault. That's if the FEC doesn't attack them first. They did move further east into Russia, so they'll just got one more territory to take, and they'll probably just stop there and let this fall to the Germans. The German tanks will get there before the Japanese infantry can get there anyways. The Japanese did build another battleship and 3 destroyers and an aircraft carrier. So combine that with this aircraft carrier, battleship, and 3 destroyers. So these 2 fleets will combine, and they'll go after the Anzacs. The big naval battle between the Japan and the U.S. Japan was victorious in that. They did land their infantry and artillery into Hawaii, capturing that for their another Victory City. So this is what's left after the battle for Hawaii. The Japanese did lose all their destroyers, and then the remainder of the hits they took on their capital ships. But Hawaii does have a port, so they'll be able to repair everything, leaving the Americans with just 1 battleship, 5 destroyers, and a cruiser. So more likely what will end up happening, this force here will park itself on the west coast of the U.S. and just stay there, pretty much preventing any American sea vessels from being produced there for the remainder of the game. Because even if they dropped 10 destroyers, they would immediately have to battle this, as it would become hostile. And there's no way, even if they could get, and they don't have the money for it, they're making $100. So dropping 10 destroyers, 10 cruisers, can't even drop 10 cruisers. But even if they were able to, it would just get completely destroyed. So it's safe to say the Battle of the Pacific has been won by the Japanese. Just a few more, the Anzacs to clean up now. They did make into New Guinea. They did recapture this from the Japanese, and they're going to make an attempt to start picking off these islands. But these 2 fleets here are just going to sail down. They could attempt to take out Singapore, but these fleets will be able to intercept them in time, and the Japanese can introduce infantry there, so to make that very unlikely to happen. Even South Africa, even if they try to get a transport and sneak around, Japanese would see that coming and position this fleet down here to protect Singapore. These Victory Cities are pretty safe from any Allied attacks. And the Japanese are probably not even going to attempt a landing in Australia. They'll just get rid of their navy, recapture these islands, and call that a day. There was one mistake that I did make after the Battle of Moscow. In that video, I said they keep their money. In actual fact, any money that the Russians did have ends up back in the bank. It doesn't go to the Germans. It just gets returned to the bank. So no one collects that money. So the buy that I used for that turn, which is this, I did remove. So they no longer have access to these units. So this is what's in Novosibirsk now: 6 infantry and a light tank. All right. So at this point, there is 3 different winning objectives. We decided on the start of the game. I'm not sure if I said it or not, but we're going through or for Wing Edition 3. So right now they just need one more victory city to secure the game, and obviously the easiest one to get would be Leningrad, and they need to hold off into Paris. So once this is secure, and if they can keep this until the end of the round, then it'll be a full Axis victory. All right, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.